Welcome to my channel, everybody. My name is Mia, and I am a mental health coach and currently studying to become a registered psychotherapist. And today I wanted to talk to you about what to do when you feel really overwhelmed by emotion and you have something important that you need to get done. So many of us, myself included, are people who kind of wear our heart on our sleeve, meaning that sometimes we might be going through our day and something happens that hits us really hard emotionally, and we become anxious and we're really preoccupied in our minds with this thing that's making us feel sorrowful or making us feel anxious. And because of these emotions that are coming up, we find it really difficult to progress through our day and get the things done that we need to do. So if you're a person like this who finds that you're not able to push your emotions down or suppress them in the moment so that you can get your stuff done, there's a few different things that you can do to be able to move through your day and then process your emotions at a later time. So one of the things that you might want to consider is that those emotions that are coming up for you are valid and need to be dealt with. So while you don't need to deal with them right now in the moment, what you're going to want to do is tell yourself that at a short period of time from now, so let's say a few hours or perhaps in the evening or maybe the next day, if you're not able to deal with the emotions at this present time, you're going to tell yourself exactly when you plan to sit down and deal with those emotions. What this does is it kind of addresses the inside of ourselves and the younger part of ourselves that really needs to get something done and get something handled right away. If you can imagine back to when you were a child, or maybe you've seen children or have children, and there can be times when they get really overwhelmed by something and they need to immediately fix the problem, and they start tantruming and they're crying, and you as the older adult can go up to them and say, "It's okay, we're going to deal with this, but we can't deal with it right now, but we will deal with it later." And you tell the child, in a little bit, we're going to deal with this thing. And as adults, we can do this for ourselves when we have really overwhelming emotions. So that's the first thing you can do. You can just sit down, take a quiet moment, close your eyes, and tell yourself, "I'm going to handle this emotion at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock or next morning," or whatever it is that's close. It should be within the next day, but it doesn't have to be right now. The next thing you can do is you can practice some regulating breathing to get that anxiety and to get that overwhelm into a more manageable state. So there's all kinds of breathing exercises that you can try. One that really works well for me is called box breathing. Box breathing is when you breathe in for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 4, then you let go for a count of 4, and then you hold again for a count of 4. Let's try that together right now, just to get an idea of what that feels like in your body. So we inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And if you continue this for a minute or two, you might find that your body starts to settle a little bit. It's not going to take away all your anxiety. It's going to take away those racing thoughts, but it might put you into a state of mind that feels a little bit more manageable so that you're able to go on with your day. The next thing that you can do is practice some grounding exercises that help to bring you into the present moment. Often when we're anxious or distressed, we've had some bad news, we're feeling really overwhelmed, our brains are kind of up here and we're just all over the place and we're not really in our bodies. So what we can do to bring ourselves back to the present moment is to look around the room and think of 4 things that you can see and name them for yourself. So for example, in the room right now, I can see my microphone, I can see my computer, I can see the pictures behind me, and I can see my cello. So you look at those things and you take them in and you name them slowly one by one. After that, you choose 3 things that you can touch and feel. So I can touch the table in front of me, I can touch the mouse, I can touch the fabric of my clothing, and you just take a moment to really feel those things. The next thing you can do is listen for 2 sounds that you can hear. So in the room where I'm at, I can hear some noises outside, I can hear some cars. and I can hear the buzzing of the fan. And if you like, you can add other senses. You can think of something that you can smell, if there's a smell in the room, or something you can taste. Once you go through this sensory list, that can sometimes bring you back into the present moment so that you're able to go on with your day and process those emotions later. Now, I want to stress, this is not a tool. These are not tools for suppressing your emotions and not feeling them at all. It's very important when you have distressing emotions, if something bad happens, or you're feeling really overwhelmed, or you're grieving, or you're sorrowful, or you're anxious about something, it's really important for your mental health and your overall well-being to deal with those emotions and to feel those emotions and to process those emotions. But you want to do it in a safe space at a safe time when you have the energy and the ability to allow yourself to truly feel those feelings and whatever secondary feelings and thoughts might come up. And usually that's not in the middle of your workday or when you have to deal with a client or if you have to go visit your mother. This is not a good time for that, right? So you want to spend a little bit of time sorting out when you're going to do that, set aside some time, and then at that time, you're going to sit down and you're going to process the emotions. You're going to allow your body to feel whatever you're feeling. If you're the kind of person that feels your emotions really easily, like I do, you probably wouldn't find this too difficult. Other people might find it harder to bring up the emotions you need to process, in which case you can use online meditations to really hone in on those feelings, really bring them to the surface so that you can handle them, so that you can problem solve through them, and so that you can let them pass through you and let them go so that you can have a nice healthy day tomorrow. So if these tips for managing your emotions when you're feeling overwhelmed are helpful, let me know. If you have any other tips or ideas that work for you, put them in the comments below and we can have a little discussion about the types of things that help you to maintain or contain your emotions when they get a little bit too high so that you can process them in a healthy way later. If you'd like any help with either of these processes of containing your emotions in a healthy way and then processing them later, feel free to reach out to me. We can have a conversation and I can see if I can help you. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.